You know that feeling, right? You're standing in front of the pantry, you're not even hungry, but there's this voice in your head just screaming for something sweet. You try to fight it, maybe you win, maybe you lose. But when you give in, that wave of guilt washes over you, and it feels like a personal failure, doesn't it? Like you just don't have enough willpower. But what if I told you it has nothing to do with willpower at all? Seriously, just pause and think about that for a second. What if this entire struggle, this endless cycle of craving something, crashing, and then feeling guilty, what if it's not your fault? What if the whole game is rigged? Because the science is becoming incredibly clear, that's exactly what this is. It's a biological trap, one that's been set by an ingredient that has quietly taken over our food supply, hijacked our bodies, and literally rewired our brains. So today, we're not just going to talk about the trap. Oh no, we are going to hand you the map to get out of it for good. Let's start by taking a look at the prison walls. Okay, so rule number 1 of escaping any trap is you've got to know you're in it. But the sugar trap is, well, it's devious. It's tricky because the enemy isn't just sitting in the candy aisle waving a flag. It's everywhere, hiding in plain sight, disguised as something else entirely. Get this, over 200, that is not a typo. There are more than 200 different names for sugar that you'll find on ingredient labels. High fructose corn syrup, dextrose, sucrose, barley malt, it just goes on and on and on. Sugar is an absolute master of disguise, which makes it nearly impossible to avoid unless you know exactly what you're looking for. So how in the world does this trap actually work? Well, it's not about how good it tastes. It's all about brain chemistry. See, sugar isn't just another food. It's a substance that directly messes with your brain's reward system. And the way it works is shockingly similar to how hard drugs operate. Every single time you eat sugar, your brain gets this massive hit of a chemical called dopamine. Dopamine is your brain's way of shouting, yes, whatever you just did, do it again. It's that feeling of pleasure, of reward, but that high is short-lived, and when it wears off, you crash. And then your brain starts screaming for another hit just to get that good feeling back. And this shows you the cycle perfectly. It's a loop. You eat the sugar, you get the dopamine reward. You do that enough, and your brain builds up a tolerance, meaning you need more and more sugar to get that same good feeling. Pretty soon, you're dependent. And now, if you try to stop, you go into withdrawal. The headaches, the bad mood, the fatigue, and that awful feeling drives you right back to eating compulsively just to feel normal again. It's a vicious, self-fueling cycle. Now, this is where it gets absolutely wild. Just look at how deep these parallels go. Sugar affects the exact same dopamine and opioid receptors in your brain as drugs of abuse. It leads to the exact same behaviors: binging, intense cravings, building a tolerance, and withdrawal. This isn't just a clever metaphor. It's literal neurochemistry. The same pathways in your brain that get hijacked by cocaine are being lit up by the sugar in your morning coffee or that healthy granola bar. Just let that sink in. In studies, when lab rats that were already addicted to cocaine, were given the choice, they almost always chose the sugar. The reward signal is just that powerful. The pleasure it triggers is that intense. So you see, this is about so much more than just empty calories. Because while your brain is on that crazy roller coaster, the rest of your body is paying a very steep and often hidden price. This addiction has really profound and damaging consequences for your physical health. It's like a silent attack from the inside out. Let's just run down the damage report, shall we? Your liver gets completely overloaded and starts turning all that extra sugar into fat, which can lead to fatty liver disease. It spikes your blood pressure and clogs you up with bad fats, putting a huge strain on your heart. It causes inflammation all over, which can make your joints ache and actually accelerate how fast your skin ages. It even temporarily weakens your immune system. Every part of you takes a hit. So you've heard all this, and you decide, that's it, I've had enough, I'm breaking free. But the very moment you decide to cut off the supply, the trap springs its final defense mechanism. Your body, which is now dependent on sugar, is going to fight you tooth and nail. And here it is. Welcome to sugar withdrawal. This is the final boss battle, and I'm not going to lie, it's tough. You can expect insane cravings, pounding headaches. You might feel super irritable and just have zero energy. This is not in your head. It is a very real physical response as your body chemistry scrambles to figure out what's going on. But here is the good news. It's temporary. And you can win this battle. You absolutely can. And believe it or not, you can win it a lot faster than you think. So enough talking about the problem. It's time to build your arsenal for freedom. Here it is, your 72-hour escape plan. Just 3 days. Step 1 is to switch your body's fuel source. You do this by cutting your carbs way down for just 3 days. This forces your body to start burning fat for energy instead of sugar, and that short-circuits the physical cravings. Step 2, and this is crucial, control your environment. For these 72 hours, all junk food, all temptation has to go. And step 3, find new, healthy ways to get that dopamine hit. You have to replace that fake sugar high with a natural high. This isn't just about distracting yourself, it's about actively retraining your brain's reward system. Go for a long walk out in nature. Put on your absolute favorite song and just dance around your living room. Do some kind of intense exercise. Heck, even doing something nice for someone else has been shown to boost those mood-lifting chemicals. Find your thing. Okay, so you've made it through those first 72 hours. The physical chains are pretty much broken. So now what? Look, this is not about living a life where you feel deprived. Not at all. This is about upgrading your fuel, upgrading your snacks, so you never feel like you're missing out. So when you get that craving for something creamy and satisfying, instead of a bowl of ice cream, try some plain, low-fat Greek yogurt with a little bit of cinnamon sprinkled on top. Or maybe some cottage cheese with fresh berries. They're packed with protein, which is going to keep you feeling full and keep your energy stable. And if you really need that sweet fix, go for nature's candy. A crisp apple with a scoop of natural peanut butter, a few dried apricots. You can even make your own little energy balls that are sweetened only with dates. You get all the sweetness, but you don't get that awful sugar crash afterward. And for those times you want something crunchy and savory, you can't beat a handful of almonds. Or try roasting some chickpeas with a bunch of spices until they're crispy. Fresh veggies like bell peppers or cucumbers dipped in hummus, they give you that awesome crunch plus a nice boost of fiber. This whole journey, it has a very clear destination. And it's not about restriction or suffering or being miserable. The entire goal of this process is just one thing: liberation. Real, true freedom from the cravings that have been running the show. You have to remember this. The key is to see that you aren't losing anything that was actually good for you. You're trading a destructive cycle for some pretty incredible gains. I mean, imagine having steady, stable energy all day long, thinking with more clarity and focus, and maybe, most importantly, feeling like you are in complete control of your own body and your own choices. So the trap is real, but it is not unbreakable. The science is clear, and the escape plan is actually pretty simple. You now have the knowledge, you have the tools. The map is officially in your hands. The only question left is, what are you going to do with all that freedom?